Hello, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Al's Air Guns. For the last several weeks, I have been reviewing a couple of 3D printed moderators that were sent to me by AirGunMods.com. They sent me their 5-inch moderator along with their 6.5-inch moderator. These are moderators for non-threaded 7/16 inch barrels, namely the Craftsman style barrel. And in testing these, I both wanted to see how efficient they were with both a variety of guns, calibers, and pellets, and also do somewhat of durability testing, as that had been one of my reservations in moving to 3D. So I shot these using a Craftsman 2289 with a 14-inch barrel, also a Craftsman 2240 with a 22 caliber barrel, the standard 7.5-inch barrel on it. Also then switched that to a 10-inch 177 barrel on the 2240 and tested with that. Also tried it out with a 1377 that had been modded and had a longer barrel and converted to 22 caliber. I've tried it out on different guns, moved it around, have put about 1,000 pellets through it in the tests. In the tests, I was using the sound meter, my digital sound meter, to measure, and for control, I was also doing each of the tests using the TKO standard moderator and the DonnyFL Tanto that I had handy. Now, the DonnyFL is only for threaded barrels, so we did use that on the 2240 XL barrel and wasn't able to use it on the pumpers. Now, the other thing that we did in the comparisons was to watch very carefully for any changes in accuracy, dramatic changes to impact, anything like that. And we also ran each of the tests with a non-silenced or moderated barrel. So tried each of the silencers and then ran the same test with no silencer mounted. Typically once that way at the beginning and then once at the end of the silencer measurements. So if you want to see the data for that, I'll put it in a spreadsheet and I can list it in the comments. So just go ahead and let me know and I can make that happen. But like I said, compared it over a number of guns, you do notice differences between caliber, differences in a CO2 gun at different points during the gas level. But all in all, we're going to make some generalizations for the sake of brevity. The DonnyFL and the TKO both consistently, reliably deliver 26 to 28 dB reductions when I've used them. In evaluating the AGM moderators, they're not quite that efficient, and they weren't quite as broad spectrum, and that I saw a little bit more deviation between type of gun and caliber on these. But basically, I always saw between a 26 to a 22% dB or 22 dB reduction. Now, I don't feel really super good about my decibel readings. I would actually like to improve my testing environment if we keep moving forward on that. But in terms of percentages, what you end up seeing is that for $100, you can get an all aluminum exterior, finely machined, well constructed, maintainable, not that I think it will ever require maintenance, suppressor from DonnyFL. Now, you will either require an adapter or you have to have a threaded barrel for it, which may drive the cost up further. If you've got a threaded barrel, that's a good solution for $100. Roughly the same efficiency, little more length, but more narrow, also constructed of aluminum and synthetics inside, metal construction on the lockdown part, and this is $49.95 shipped anywhere in the continental U.S. So I see the TKO as an extreme value. I'm not saying there's not a certain pride of ownership and cool factor that doesn't go with the DonnyFL, but in terms of efficiency for half the price, you just can't beat the TKO. Plus, it's still able to use iron sights with it. It's narrow enough to allow that, where the DonnyFL is fat enough that if you're on a pistol, it's really tough to use the narrow sights. These offer the advantage of being more narrow than the DonnyFL. They are also the lightest suppressors in the group. I don't have a scale reading for you, but basically they're both probably about half the weight of the TKO, which is about half the weight of the DonnyFL. And these are selling for $24.50 each, shipped. So when we look at the effectiveness of them and the durability that I saw from them, I think that's a heck of a value. You know, at this point, when you can buy a suppressor for $25 that substantially reduce the report of your air gun, I think it's silly not to use them. You owe it to your hearing, you owe it to the people around you. You know, I've really become a big fan of suppressors on air guns, particularly guns that are tuned for extra power or anything like that. So, like I say, $100, $50, $25, and these things get you 95% of the way there. So, all in all, very impressed with the AGM suppressors. Hey, should you happen to buy them, tell them that you learned about them here on Al's Air Guns. And look forward to seeing everybody on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye.